Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. Like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2019, Stage Racer, episode number 25. In the evolution of interest category, my current team, Antwerp, love me already. Holy cow, do they want to get me back. In terms of progress, moving up, you can see we're stuck between 3 stars, 3.5 stars. Pretty tight range, and Antwerp is already near the top of that range. They're not at the bottom, so we're not being allowed a whole lot of room for progression. And only 3 World Tour teams are in after us. Direct Energy, of course, on the edge. Could move up if we were to join them, or even Cofidis, one of those two could potentially move up. But last time out in April, we chose the CCC team, which somehow here in the database is still categorized as an American team. This is the former BMC team, and as there was a lengthy discussion in the comment section, the CCC team, after merging with BMC, the CCC team, which was formerly a Continental Pro team, a Polish Continental Pro team, is now the principal sponsor after BMC pulled out. And while some of the base is still in the US, there's still co-ownership in the US, the team itself is registered as a Polish team. So, even though they are in-game anyway, in the database still as an American team, officially it is a Polish team, but there's still a lot of the remnants of the former American BMC team. And so, as an American rider, and as it is still classified, hey, yeah, okay, it works. I suppose. It doesn't, but it does. But it doesn't. Yeah, get what I'm saying. So there's our update. We're going to start the Tour Vuelta Asturias, another Spanish race, and this one is a 3-stager with 2 punchy stages and a mountain stage. So for a rider like myself, this one definitely is something we've got a shot at least a higher placing. So let's go ahead and get into stage number 1. Stage 1, while it does open with some climbs and does have an intermediate in the middle, it's really going to come down to the final 2 climbs. So we will join fairly late. I don't think we'll go straight at the base of that climb, though we may. It might be a little bit sooner, like maybe around the last sprint point. With just under 43 kilometers left in this one, I'm in a awkward position here, and more I really think that there is some sort of bug related to objectives in PCM 19 that has not been resolved yet. And actually, as I went to load the game today, there was an update. It was the first update for a little while, but honestly I am wondering more and more. Here's why. This isn't the first time. Okay, this is definitely not the first time. If it was the first time, I wouldn't think much of it, but it's a trend that's happening a lot lately. And here's what I'm talking about. My objective for the race, overall, is to win. Now that doesn't feel like a bug. I think there's at least a chance I could be in contention. I haven't looked yet really who all is in the field, and I guess if we're looking, Magnus Corneliusson, we're seeing splits here, Omar Frele. I mean, that's a group that's beatable. I mean, this is not a full-on World Tour race, even though there are some World Tour teams at this race. So that, I suppose, is a realistic enough goal as a stage racer, as a climber, as somebody who's decent in the hills. But as someone who is decent in the hills, and someone who is not even listed among the 10 favorites for this stage. The team objective, not just to win the race overall, but also to win this stage. So, what? Even a top 10 claim is pushing it because I'm not even in the top 10 favorites as somebody who is not a Hills guy. So I'm very confused by that. Very confused by that. Now I have Restrepo here. Lastra is the only other one left with much energy. And what is your position? Let's bring you forward. And I don't know why I can't. Can I get your... Okay, I want you to come to the front. Come to the front because here comes the climb. It's a little late for that there. A little late for me. Already near the front. Here's the main climb. The secondary climb is pretty steep, but it's also a lot shorter. And we have 17.5K to go. And about half of that is actual climbs. And then we've got kind of the false flat to the finish. Started at 85 with Restrepo here. I want to get to the front. Lastra, how we doing? I'd rather have a train with you and Restrepo. Oh, that wasn't actually the start of the climb, but now is. So right now, easy ride. I just need to stay near the front. Now the tricky part is I'd like to see what's going on this side of the road. Now I can. Now it's back the other way. That's the breakaway group, and we're just about to reel them in. There we go, officially. They've been caught. And we're about to hit the top. Where is Lastra? Lastra's still not there. Lastra, too late. Just go auto. So I'm at the front at the moment with 1K to go. Restrepo, a little bit less there, please. Ooh, hello, we are off the front. Just Restrepo and I. We were there for a second.
Watch out! A team leader is falling behind. A rider has fallen, and he's not getting back up. It looks like he'll have to abandon the race.
41 riders left in the peloton at the moment. Little false flat here. Restrepo's giving me a little bit of coverage anyway, and Lastra trying to get up here. I don't think he's going to quite make it. But here comes that last final climb. And now we're in a group of 2 again. It's Restrepo and I, so he's giving me slight protection at the moment, technically, even though he's behind me, but that's the way the game mechanics work. I think he's off my wheel now. Yes, he is, as is Lastra. Almost over the top. Nice little recovery there. I like that. Ooh, this is still 5K. I'm going to sit up. It's going to allow those 19 to come back at us quickly because nobody's going to pick up the reins. Carboni comes to the front. Back up to 36 now. Oh, Restrepo and Lastra, neither of them made it back on. They're in the 5 chasers. 3K to go. Now we've got to be prepared to attack. .4, 2.1, move to the front, 1.7, 1.6. 1K banner. Oh, my energy's gonna fade. I can't go just yet. I've got to sprint late. Leave it late. There we go. Now these guys all have more energy because they were just sitting on. Magnus Cort Nielsen takes the stage. But again, this isn't my kind of stage. I should just be in the group. I'm not even in the favorites at all. 28th. And we've got that small group of just over 30 riders that are all going to be on the same time. But then it's the next stage that's going to decide it. Not this stage. And that's got to be a bug. Got to be a bug. I rode plenty of guys off the wheel, but unfortunately my teammates didn't make it through. If they had, we could have had just those 19 at the end if I had one teammate to continue those last 5 kilometers to the finish. I would have been much happier with 19 as opposed to double that. Last few stragglers coming along towards the line. So yeah, that actually makes me really upset that the evaluation is going to be a very negative one because I didn't win the stage, but I was never going to win that stage. You know, if that secondary climb was to the top, sure, I could have won that, maybe. Same time for 37 riders. Yeah, win the stage. Why? So I get no points. Boo. You know, the game has never been bug free. Every edition, every year, there's bugs. Compared to a lot of games, it is certainly not, you would say, buggy, right? It's not bad. This is 160k with 2 major climbs. This is definitely my kind of stage. I've got the fitness, but I'm not into a fitness peak at all, so there is that. I don't have any massive bonuses or anything. This time, though, I would think I will be on the top 5 favorites or so. How high, I'm not sure. I could be number 1 favorite. Could be. This is definitely not the last stage. Or the next stage. Okay, so I am the favorite this time. Galopin, Martinez, up there with me. And yes, those are riders I feel like I can take. We'll see. I'm not sure how steep this climb is. I mean, it ramps up very slowly. And then in the final 6 to 8K, looks like it gets fairly steep before leveling off the final K. But I think over the course of that final 8K or so, we could definitely get down to a solo ride. Not a lot of distance to cover before the first climb. And that first climb is going to thin the field out a lot, so we'll just go ahead and stay live for the entirety of this stage.
Without saying that it was neither the sprinters nor those who prefer the flat. Yes, it was the climbers, and the reasons were obvious. In today's conditions, the spotlight will be on them.
Ugh. Ew. Oh. What the heck? That is a terrible draw. Terrible draw. I should be in for a net positive, at least a 0, race day condition, and I draw a -2. So if I didn't get screwed enough already in stage number 1,
He's launching an attack. There's not much opening.
they bring the pain and suffering here in stage number 2 for me.
Things are heating up in front.
Breakaway of 10 riders coming together here. We're finally just about established enough. Yes, there we go. Okay, minute and a half. Oh, come on. What's going on? More attacks somewhere. Idiot's still trying to get off the front, so it keeps stopping my attempts to speed up. slow it down when we get to the first climb. Field is chasing pretty hard, apparently. People are not interested. In fact, look at how tired Molina is. Banishek going down. And we're still getting attacks. I mean, now there's 11 riders in the break. This one rider was able to join them. You've got 3 minutes, 25 seconds. That is definitely not enough. They will be caught over time, but we're beginning to climb now. I'm going to stay with this group through it. There's nothing to worry about other than Amisqueta deciding to get water now while we climb. Not smart, dude. Not smart. Molina is a bit recovered. Amisqueta wasting a lot of energy to bring water to the team on the climb, but so far so good, and he's completed the job with about 15% energy gone. Halfway up the climb, I think he'll be okay. The pace not really there. Gap's already down to 2.5 minutes. One rider has dropped off the back. 2 riders have dropped off the back. I actually expected it to thin out to about 70 at this point, and that has not happened. And that's just because the pace is not there in the break or the peloton. Break really not trying to take advantage. They're waiting till the last moment here to attack the climb. I'm sitting on 6 points. I'm 10 points down, and this finishing climb very well could be worth 16, I would imagine.
That's half the race done. There should be a lot more movement from now on in.
So if I win that, that would move me into the KOM lead, I believe. Gap's at 3 minutes. On the descent, we do have this secondary climb. Before we continue the descent, I don't think this is going to do much damage. I think all 121 should get over the top of that, especially with the recovery. You can see even Molina is now fully recovered, but he and Amisqueta, see, there is energy that they will not get back. So the efforts that they've made, getting water at the wrong time, pulling at the front, has done some irreparable damage. Little fatigue setting in throughout the field up that little climb, and surprisingly, a handful were dropped. Down to 108 from 121, 109 now. And we're starting to get into range. Lead is down to 1:14. Let's go ahead and get back with the group. Down to a minute. They're now attacking each other, so now any hope they had is gone. We've got some riders that are a mile behind. Actually, no, it's a lot more than a mile, isn't it? They're many kilometers down from the rest of the field. These guys are 30, 40 minutes down the road.
There are a couple of riders who want to go it alone. The pack is slowly whittling away the lead.
Front group attacking each other pretty relentlessly right now. And before we hit the climb, this time, what we're going to do is, got 20k to go. Just set to, actually no, you know what, let's set to a 90. I know that Restrepo and Lastra are my strongest. Now, from here, it's just who's in the best shape, because I don't quite... Actually, you know what? I'm starting to get some stats. Rodriguez. Rodriguez could climb. Okay, so Rodriguez, you're next, even though you're on that -2. Then, Molina, because you have a +3, you might last a little longer. Amisqueta, Vistari, and where is Vistari? Way back here. Ouch. You know what? I want you to come forward really quickly before the whole dang team drops to the back of the peloton. just before we start climbing. So thank you for coming forward quickly to where we only went down about halfway. Now you can slow it down to a 90, 89. We're not even climbing yet. 87. Rodriguez still coming through. There's the sprint point. The 10 riders are still away, and we're just now coming up to the front, finally. What? Really? Just lost the entire team. There's not even a gap. Why are you being so glitchy, game? Why? Rodriguez is done. Let's take Molina now. Sorry's done. Molina's not going to last long, but at least we can get a little something out of him. But this is just sad and pathetic, what I just saw from my team. Auto. Yeah, let's get you guys all set to auto. There you go. Come on. Not in the ideal position at the base of the climb. Where is Restrepo? Come on. Get through the field. Lastra. Ease up because Restrepo is failing miserably at his job. The entire team is failing miserably at their job right now. Restrepo. Come on, get out here in the open. Go catch up to Lastra. Alright, well, at least I've got a two-man lead out now. But what a waste of time, energy, effort, as we are just, I mean, we're already onto the steeper slopes. 85. Lastra's a 73. Restrepo's actually not as good, but he's got that positive race day condition. And I don't know what's going on for me today. This sucks. We're down to 50 riders. Lastra is done. Go to auto. There you go, Restrepo, finally. Okay. Now, I'm not going to attack suddenly because, well, look at my energy level. Not looking so hot. So, we're going to follow TJ Van Garderen. Going to try to sit on the wheel of whoever is out front. Comes our first attack. Thalman? Yeah, go for it. I'm not going to follow you. Dyer Quintana? Let's go ahead and take position on your wheel. Or not. Carboni. Fairly. There you go. Follow Cord Nielsen. Wow, look how low my energy is already. I haven't even done anything. I haven't attacked. There hasn't been pace. I mean, I know we're down to 19 riders, but come on. A little bit of recovery here. Gel has not kicked in yet. Glad the pace is coming out of the group, otherwise I'd be screwed. I don't have the resistance to get negative race day conditions like this. Long gradual climb. I can climb better than these guys. I've got a higher rating, I think, than anyone else, which is why I was the favorite, at least slightly. And that's why I'm able to recover. Why am I going backwards? Court Nielsen, struggling. Follow Galopan. Comes the acceleration, and I'm not moving up, but I really can't afford to attack in any way, shape, or form. We're about to split with 1.7 to go, and I just ran out of energy.
There we go. The sprint is on. The riders are setting themselves up.
So again, I'm not going to win the stage. This time I'm going to lose a little bit of time. Now, as a young Continental rider, I'm okay with not taking this win, but I'm very unsure about that whole stage 1 unrealistic expectation thing. Little taken aback by that. Also, just the unlucky situation of being somebody who's a low resistance rider, but having the 98% fitness that should buy me a few points. The no way, no shape or form should I see a negative race day condition. But it's a bell curve, it's random, it happens. Sometimes you just get screwed. That was this stage. It's an element. It's a random element. Sometimes the legs just don't respond. Even when you've prepared perfectly, sometimes the legs just aren't there. It happens. For me, today was one of those days. I finished 9th on the stage. It sucks. You deal with it, you move on. It doesn't always go according to plan. I didn't have the legs today. And all it took for me was a -2 resistance. That's it. My mountain, my hills, it was all still there. But my flat rating, a 61. Teammates, they didn't last long. Whatever that flippin' mess was of trying to get them in position while we were still essentially on the flat, to have 4 of them wasted before we even get to the front of the peloton? Ugh, that's frustrating. That's frustrating. That really is. Hey, whatever, Deal with it, move on. We didn't get the stage. We didn't have the legs. I wasn't expecting the stage once I saw the -2. I mean, it's garbage. But it's just unlucky, Not bad gameplay. I'm playing on hard, so they're not going to make it easy on you. Sometimes people are going to have unrealistic expectations, think you're just automatically going to pull it off. It's not the case. But, Thalman, seriously? This guy? Finishing ahead of me? Well, yeah, okay. Robert Power, another one? Not known as a quality rider. But here, Omar Fraile? Yeah, I could see him being above me, especially with the resistance. Especially if he's got some sort of positive race day condition. Well, I had that ugly negative one. So, I finished right with Galpin, and that was my closest competitor. And you can see I should have been better than him, but he's got 5 points of resistance on me right off the bat. He's got almost 10 points on the flat on me. That takes its toll, especially when my team can't seem to climb outside of 2 guys, and they certainly didn't last long. And I think I need to change my tactic with my team. And instead of trying to do the lead-out train as the strongest climber, I'm not getting enough support from my team, so I need to go back to the generic of sit in the group, have them protect. One by one, they fall apart, they fall off, and then it's just me. And I need to go back to that tactic, because this team just isn't strong enough amongst World Tour riders. Definitely not what I expected of them. Not as good as I expected from them. So I'm kind of back to on my own. But that'll change next year if we do get that CCC contract. I think we'll be able to move on to a situation where we have help, we have support. Not making any teammate requests. I don't have any points to spend. I'm saving them for next year. One stage to go, and we're going to have this looping course over the same climb again and again. We've got, 8 times over that climb. It's a climb that'll do some damage, and it'll thin the field, and then you have that descent to the finish. But it's a puncher's delight, and not mine. And I'm definitely not going to be a favorite. Or maybe I will. Okay. Well, I better have the appropriate race day condition today. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble again. That was one of my worst rolls in a while for race day condition boost. Alright, so I've tried to switch this up back to more of a standard go at this type of stage. We've got 6 climbs left to go, and we're on it right now. This is the climb. You can see we're at 5% gradient right now as we approach the top. But as we turn here with 700 meters to go, it gets up to 10%. So it hovers between about 7 and 10% over this final K. And then here is the top of the climb. And then you're going to have this descent down the other side of the hill. So we go up and around this hill over and over and over again just on the edge of the city. You go back into the city. The finish line is there through the city. And then you turn around and come back out of the city again and back up the hill. Over and over again. That's 3. We have 5 circuits still to go. What I'm trying to do this time is back to that standard method. So Amasqueta is protecting Restrepo. Yeah. And then Irisari is protecting Lastra. And then Rodriguez was supposed to be protecting me, but he's failed to do his duty on that one, and he's a bit off the back at the moment, so I'm wasting some energy here. This guy is not protecting me. Or was it that it was Molina and Molina got dropped? I think that might have been the case. 4 times to go. What I'm going to do here is, I think Rodriguez is done. He's about to get dropped from the group. So I need somebody to take over. Irisari is almost done. Amasqueta is not. So Amasqueta is going to take over protecting me. And then Irisari is going to be done. So we're going to put him on auto. And Restrepo is going to protect Lastra. So we're kind of doing process of elimination protection. The guys who can stick around the longest to protect me, I'm going to try to preserve them for as long as possible by use the teammates to protect them. So 4 to protect 4. Once those 4 are done, 2 to protect 2, and so on. Protect the strongest riders as long as possible so that they're able to protect me late. Nearly to the top. Breakaway group's still off the front, but they've only got 1:13. That is a very small gap for 3 climbs left to go. And it's a small group. One of them already off the back, so it'll leave 5 at the front. No, we're definitely not pulling them in quickly here. But you can see Restrepo and Lastra, they're still pretty fresh at this point because they've been protected up till now. Amasqueta, though, is definitely fading. Where is he? So Amasqueta is done, which means Restrepo now it's your turn. So you're going to move up to protecting me, and then Lastra will be last to go.
The entente in the escape group is far from cordial. There are a couple of riders who want to join.
Still 70 riders in the peloton with 3 times up the climb, surprisingly. Pace is really starting to pick up, though. Astana putting the pressure on. 37 seconds is the lead. Next time, I think those guys might be caught. Peloton a lot bigger than I would have expected at this point. Though it does split over the top of the climb, 58 now. May or may not come back together. Those gaps open up pretty quickly. So those guys lose contact. Now we're getting down to about the size I expected for the final 2. At least closer anyway. I think we're still about 15 above where I figured we'd be. 16 to be exact. Figured about 40 by this point.
The pack's deficit is being cut back. Whoa, there's an attack from inside the breakaway group.
Alright, pressure coming on. We're starting to see some attacks, so I'm going to increase effort, but Restrepo's still protecting me, so he's going to take the brunt of this. And at least at the moment, we have enough pace that we've gone off the front with 2 climbs to go. They've gotten back in there. We still haven't caught the break, surprisingly. Restrepo's there. Lastra just lost contact right as I try to click on him and regain control here.
10 kilometers to the finish line.
Okay, I'm going to use my gel now because I need it on the climb. Do the same thing next time, but it's going to be at a higher pace than an 89. And we're definitely going to try to ride off the front, but these guys are all trying to move forward, so I want to make sure I don't get bogged down. I want to be in the open. There we go, we're at the front. And the acceleration, not quite yet, not quite yet. It gets steeper at the 1K. There we go. 95, Restrepo. Yeah, good. There's the 1K also, and then we are going to hit that, and he's going to peel off. And I'm going to get a little acceleration here. Go, over the top. Okay, now just downhill. I've got 15 seconds. 15 seconds. It's downhill, so we're going to go 99 while it's downhill. Pressure's on because we've had a bad race here so far. Okay, 13, 14 seconds. Now, settle into it a little bit. Still 2K to go. Got to give myself a little bit of energy for the final sprint. Here we go, 1K. It's only 17 seconds. It's only 16 seconds. It's enough. It's enough. We got it. For the win. 13 seconds clear of the field. Magnus Cort Nielsen takes second. Spilak takes third. Frele is sixth. Galopan up there in 7th. Restrepo hangs on for 11th. Good result for him. Narvaez, one of my teammates in career mode, 18th. Riding for Ineos now. Big promotion for him. Saw what I saw, apparently. So I do get a stage. I'm going to get the 10-second time bonus. I'm going to get about 13 seconds. I'm going to pick up 23. That should move me up into maybe a podium place, but I'm definitely not going to win the overall after that last stage. So even with the podium place, the team's going to be upset. So I'm going to get almost no points for this race. I'll get a little bit for winning the stage. Okay, it was 13, so that's 23. But Cort Nielsen's going to pick up a bonus. Spilak's going to pick up a bonus. Only 22 riders in contention, so it should move me up. Didn't even move me. Wow. Okay, 3 seconds out of second place. 1 second out of fourth. Those guys had that big of a gap on me. It was more than 23 seconds. I thought I was only about 14, 15 seconds down to the second group, and I thought that Magnus Cort Nielsen finished solo a good half minute clear, but I was 50 seconds down. So I should have gained 23 seconds. That's not 23 seconds. 23 seconds, well, okay, Magnus Cort Nielsen himself picked up 6, right? So I would have picked up, yeah. So that's about right to him, but where were these guys? Where they were closer to him than I thought, apparently. Further away from me than I thought. It's still top 5 finish, I guess. I thought I had enough to get into the top 2 or 3. Nope. Now going back to the normal tactic, did work a little bit better. When you're dominant, when you have decent climbers around you, you can absolutely sprint train your way to dominant fashion. That's how Ineos does it in real life, right? They, especially during the Tour de France, right? They'll get their strong climbers. You know, they'll get their 1 or 2 guys on the flat leading them out for many kilometers, but they hit those climbs, and they've got about 5-6 riders left, and they just line up, and they sprint train up a mountainside. And it works in game too, and it works beautifully in game if they're capable as climbers. That team clearly only had 2 guys that were capable of climbing. Well, 3 guys that were capable climbers, but Rodriguez had a really bad form. He's got some fatigue right now that was giving him negative race day conditions. And that's exactly what happened to me on stage 2. Negative race day condition was far more to blame than the far more to blame than using the sprint train. Because I still had those 2 guys, so they were still there. But they were leading, I was fading. If they were protecting, I wouldn't have faded as much. And that's what I needed in that situation. So if you've got to have the resistance as well. Oh, and yeah, breakaway, really? The requirements by my manager were pretty dang ridiculous for this race. They expected me to win every single one of the stages. Only one was a mountain stage. And then they expected me to win the overall. Okay, I suppose on that one I could have been a favorite if stage 2, if I had the better race day condition. But I was supposed to be in the breakaway with stage 3. Who would ever let you into a breakaway as the race favorite? It's not going to happen. Now, if you're on a triple or quadruple mountain stage that's 200 kilometers and each climb is Alts category or at least Cat 1, I could see somebody, being in that small break, the last few riders. But no one's ever going to let the favorite just ride off into the sunset early on. So just please let it be a bug, because at least it's not intended by the developers, right? Because you don't intend to mess that crap up that bad. Okay, enough rant. Thank you. If you're still listening, if you didn't get frustrated by that, I apologize. Ranting's not my thing. It's certainly not, but it does happen occasionally. And thank you if you're still with me. I do apologize for that, but race done. We did survive. We're in one piece. We got a top 5. I mean, come on. It's not that bad, right? And I got a stage victory. It's not that bad. That wasn't a bad race. It just wasn't a good race. I think my chosen tactic was not the best for this team. And clearly, stage 3 showed that going back to the traditional tactic might work better for this team, or at least with who I'm racing alongside. And that's one of the things about the new Pro Cyclist mode. And I've said many times that I do like this. So instead of a rant, now let's go with the positive here. I don't know my teammates. Not yet. I'm getting there. I know half of them now. Right? I've revealed attributes for half my team. And it looks like 4 guys are capable. And 3 of them were with me, right? Aaron Burrow wasn't there, but Rodriguez, Restrepo, and Lastra, they can climb. Enough, anyway, to participate in a train. Their resistance is similar to mine. That's actually pretty good. That gives you balance, right? If you can hold a steady enough pace. So, their ratings aren't awful compared to mine. They're actually all good young riders. Colombian or Spanish riders. So, I like that. And looking down the list, right, we have another puncher, a couple more climbers, a couple more punchers, another climber. So, there's potentially more, depending on what their ability is. Tarme should be decent. Not too familiar with these other guys. Molina, maybe. But in the right race, in the right circumstances, with the right guys around me, yeah, I could still use that tactic. But it depends on the right guys. Anyway, this was the point that I was making. Is I like that they're masking the attributes because it makes a world of difference. Because when I use this sprint train with career mode or with other pro cyclist modes, you put your weakest guy first, and then you get progressively stronger climbers. What that does is your weakest guy is going to burn his energy, but everybody behind him, they can go his pace, no problem. That guy burns out, next guy takes over. And one by one, they burn out and they go. And your rider in back, your strongest climber, isn't hurt by the pace that any of them can put up. Or at least only starts to feel it, with the rider in front of them, who's going faster than the one that was in front of them, who was faster than the one that was in front of them, as each of them maintains a better, stronger pace. And slowly you just ramp it up more and more and more and more, and then you're on the front. And then when you get to that last guy, you should be almost there, almost to the top of the climb. And then that last guy can just go, hit it, take off, attack the field. It's a good tactic. It is, and I've had a lot of success with it. But you've got to know your riders. And when you don't know your riders, it's a crapshoot. It's a mystery. It's not just about energy. It's not what they have left. It's if you have a stronger climber suddenly go first, bam, there's 3 guys gone right behind him because they can't keep the pace. And they burn out, even though they're in tow. So it does make that skill, right? It does make that skill about the information and the passion more important, which I obviously haven't gone there. So it is the thing, as you get better as a climber, like I'm now getting, right? Now that I can compete, now that I can pick up some wins, I start to need those things. Really do. So I'm going to need to start to investing in that soon. I really don't care necessarily until I get there next season. But with my current team, I'm capable of getting more wins. But I don't know the riders that well. And it's a factor. It's a lesson learned. So I'm definitely not complaining about this new system. I like it. I do. It makes it more challenging, as we just saw, right? So, the rant has turned into a positive. Glad about that. It's a challenge. It's a challenge I like. It's a challenge that I accept. Alright, well, hey, that's going to do it for this episode. Things did not go according to plan, but dang it. It would be such a boring game if I just went out and won every freaking time. right? So, challenge accepted. Thank you. Still not happy that you thought I should win that first stage. Or even that you thought I should win the last stage. I mean, I did in the last stage. And at least I was on the favorites list on that last stage. I would have been a lot happier if you would have said stage top 3. First stage, I would have accepted if you said stage top 10. But when I wasn't even on the top 10 list, and you said I should win, bite me. Yeah, that's right, boss. Take that. Put those teeth right there. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Maybe this was a strange episode. I don't know. Kind of in a mood today, I guess. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.